By 2 o'clock, the British had landed 2,500 troops. By 3 o'clock, they were ready. Along with much of Boston, General Burgoyne watched the assault on Breed's Hill.
Now ensued one of the greatest scenes of war that can be conceived. Howe's troops ascending the hill. The roar of cannon, mortars, and musketry made the whole a picture of horror beyond anything that ever came to my lot to be witness to.
The redcoat charge collapsed. Officers, in particular, were singled out.
They have appalling officer casualties. Stuff that scares the dickens out of the British command structure because they have not experienced death rates and serious wound rates among the officer corps like that in a comparable engagement in their living memory.
Bringing up reinforcements, Howe ordered a second attack. And then a third. By now, the rebels were nearly out of powder. In the last charge, some had even fired broken glass, rocks, and nails in place of musket balls. Prescott's men waited until the redcoats were again in range and spent their last precious rounds. Major Pitcairn, who had led the redcoats onto Lexington Green just 2 months earlier, went down with 4 shots in him and died in the arms of his son. Defenseless now against British bayonets, Prescott finally ordered his men to retreat.
The dead and wounded lay on every side of us. Their groans were piercing. Our orders were to make the best retreat we could. We set off almost gone with fatigue, leaving some of our dead in the field.
Among those left in the field was the Patriot leader who had foreseen his own death, Joseph Warren. A British officer on burial detail wrote,
"Dr. Warren I found among the slain, and stuffed the scoundrel with another rebel into one hole. And there he and his seditious principles may remain."
Buying time for his comrades to retreat, Joseph Warren had been shot in the back of the head. He was 34 years old.
I have just heard that our dear friend, Dr. Warren, fell gloriously fighting for his country. Great is our loss. Almighty God, cover the heads of our countrymen. May we be supported and sustained in the dreadful conflict. I cannot compose myself to write any further. Abigail Adams.
By day's end, the British had won the field, but at a terrible price. Their casualty rate, over 40%, was the highest the British would suffer in the entire Revolution. 1,000 men were killed or wounded. General Clinton said it was a dear-bought victory. Another such would have ruined us. The Americans lost the hill, but they won a newfound confidence. What they lacked was training, a treasury, and a leader